All right, guys, we're going to hang out for a couple of minutes and then we're going to dive into this webinar. All right, everybody, my name is Elizabeth Atkins. So tonight we are gonna do a quick down and dirty 30-minute webinar. It's gonna be super laser focused. I have some info broken down into little bite-sized chunks so that we're gonna be talking about the 5 brand mistakes that you're making on your website right now and how those mistakes are killing your marketing and sales, which is actually a super big topic. But I've kind of structured this webinar to make it fun and informative and hopefully get you guys thinking in an innovative way so that you can take the rest of the year, couple of weeks or so, and start taking your 2016 plan and really revving it up so that you have a big, huge focus and you make your 2016 really count, especially for your websites. So first, I want to spend some time talking to you guys about a few key points and some issues I've been seeing a lot of business owners struggling with all of 2015. I feel like these key points are really the reason that led you guys to come here, connect on this webinar, really spend some time learning from me about how to build a better site for yourself. So just like you guys know, like I know, marketing and websites and building a brand, all of those things are interconnected. And when one thing is not healthy, it sets off this chain reaction. So the idea today that I'm going to be talking about in this webinar is pinpointing where on the chain of your business is the weakest link, what's really broken here. So I'm 100% sure that your business right now, you're focused on finding your tribe. Like, who is your ideal client? Where are they on the internet? You know, who is the right audience for your business? So you're working your buns off trying to really connect with your ideal client because your end goal is always going to be to build your business. I mean, without connecting with clients, you can't build a business and you have nobody to sell to, right? So you're working really hard. You're trying to get people interested in you. You're blogging your buns off. You're Instagramming like crazy. You're tweeting. You're working every single angle that you have, trying to drive people to connect with you. And at this stage, I know you're probably feeling really exhausted with this whole constant content creation, right? And the other thing that's bothering you is that you want to really connect with these people authentically. You want your customers to understand you. You want them to talk well about you, to refer to you or your product or whatever you're doing with your business. You want to be seen as the go-to person in your market, and you want, without a shadow of a doubt, to know that what you're doing is really enticing to ideal customers. And you don't want it to feel cheesy or salesy or fake in any way. So that's adding another level of working your butt off to connect with your tribe, to really find the people who you're going to fit really well with, who understand you. And you really want to feel valued. You don't want to leave this whole experience up to chance. It's a waste of your time to do that. And if you've gotten lucky this far, if you've just built it and people have come, you're getting to a point in your career where you're starting to feel like, all right, I can't just rely on luck anymore. I can't just keep putting content out there. That's a lot of work. So for a lot of people in this webinar, you're struggling to make sure that your customers see your value and trying to balance how much work you're putting in and connecting with people authentically, and you're trying to find where that sweet spot is. Honestly, like it's too much work to try and get people to love you authentically, finding all the new places to get new clients and having them instantly value you, only to like find out your process may not work or take a chance on something. It's really hard. So you're sitting here wondering, okay, like what steps am I missing in this process? How can I build something? And that's starting to get frustrating. The other really hard part that you're probably running up against right now is that you're seeing all of your competitors out there really kicking butt. Their websites are on point. Their marketing is on point, and you feel like they're just scooping up all the clients that you want, or they're selling all the products that you had the idea to sell. And to be honest, watching your competition, it's making you want to copy what they do, which is not a good feeling either. So everyone kind of ends up looking the same, doing the same stuff, acting the same. Everyone's on the same platforms, doing all the same things. And it's enough to make you go completely nuts. So you're here, you're ready for a change. You want to pinpoint exactly what you want to do with your business next year to get rid of all of the tire kickers, increase sales, maybe even, I don't know, take a vacation so that you've pre-booked yourself up to a certain point, or you've sold all your inventory on your product and you can actually relax. So you're here because you feel the need to make a change in your business, and you're starting to suspect that there may be better ways to do things. And you just need to find that one special thing, that one better way. So some of you may have been in business for a really long time, and some of you may be seasoned at this, and some of you may just be starting out. This may be your first look at your business. But there's one thing that I know you guys all share in common. You're all searching for the results, that one thing that will help your business grow, to grow your empire. And you want to reach all of your ideal clients in the right way. And you want to look good. You want to sound good. You want your website to feel right. And you don't want to take any more chances. And you want to see the results. You want to put in the work, and you want to see the results come from all of your efforts. You want to see your efforts actually paying off. And to be quite honest, it doesn't matter what stage of business you're in right now. If you're here, you share a commonality with every single person sitting in this webinar. You guys are kind of like all family. Every single one of you listening to this webinar, you share that driving desire to really succeed. You want to be heard. You want to be valued by your ideal clients. And you want for your business to be successful. And you're all interconnected by that feeling. And every single business on the market, it doesn't honestly matter how big you are, how small you are. If you're the Apple of the world, or you're the next Facebook, or if you are Apple or IBM right now, at some point in your business, some point in this process of learning how to create a better business for yourself, you've gone through this. You've sought the right answers. You've invested in yourself somewhere along the line. And some of you are doing it again, and some of you are doing it for the first time. So I want to take a little bit of a minute and give you a mini pat on the back. Everyone here is actually going to be making some good changes. 2016 should be a great year for you guys. So, all right. I am going to dive into the 5 biggest brand mistakes your website is making in just a minute. But before I do that, I wanted to talk to you guys about one of the deepest, darkest issues in brand development that people are having right now. And just like I said earlier about pinpointing where your weakest link in your business chain is, I already know that brand strategy work is the crux of some of your biggest problems right now. Brand strategy, if you haven't invested into creating a better brand strategy for yourself, it is the root of preventing you from having better sales. It really hurts your ability to communicate with your ideal clients if you haven't invested in creating brand strategy. If you've skipped out on brand strategy, it has a tendency to make you feel like you're spinning your wheels, like you're missing an opportunity, like there's no focus in your business. And all of those issues, they surround a feeling of just feeling overworked, unheard, like you're missing the mark on finding your ideal clients. And all of that can be boiled down in having a misfiring brand strategy. So a secret sauce to building a great company, it doesn't matter what it is, it's gotta be about focusing on compelling brand strategy work. And that's how you really get great clients, and that's how you see really good growth. And this idea can be really, really scary to a lot of people because no one actually spends any time talking about brand strategy. So I'm saying the word brand strategy, and everyone's in here probably being like, okay, what is this? What else could this possibly be? Is this going to be really hard for me to understand? Is it going to be difficult for me to do? Is it going to be expensive? I mean, it's kind of like staring into the unknown for you guys. So I want to spend a little bit of time. I want to lift the curtain on that for you so you can start to build your brand in a more effective way. So I'm going to give you a 5-minute mini crash course before we hit these 5 biggest website problems. So now is a really, really good time to pause, grab your pencils, get a scrap piece of paper if you haven't already, because this mini crash course should help clarify, helping you get your brand in the right way, into the right hands, into the right area to focus on fixing some of these website problems that you're having. And I'm hoping that it's going to help you start asking yourself some tough questions too. So again, my guess here is that this kind of brand strategy work is going to be really kind of a new thought, innovative, different for you guys. But I just want to reiterate, there really is nothing to be afraid of. And there is no mystery behind brand strategy work. There's no smoke, there's no mirrors. I mean, it's really not a trick. An incredible brand strategy is a methodical process of logically putting the pieces of your business together in just the right way to unlock areas of growth, build a foundation, all that good stuff. So here's my 5-minute crash course in brand strategy building. You understand you cannot build a business and you cannot expect people to just show up. You have to connect with them, you have to stay consistent, and you have to stay focused. But one of the biggest issues with brand strategy building is struggling to figure out the why and the how of what's motivating a business. Like asking yourself, why am I doing all this work and why is no one converting, right? So how do I get them to buy from me, these ideal customers? So a lot of people, they end up reading a lot of DIY articles, or they're listening to podcasts about this topic, but it kind of seems like they're dancing around how to pinpoint your value. Everything is kind of just glossing over connecting these dots. There's always something missing in these process. So I want to let you know, honestly, that's not your fault. I'm going to put this into context. So you have 10 seconds to grab someone on your website and 10 seconds to grab someone on your marketing material. Only 10 seconds to excite them. So what exactly are you going to say to them in that 10 seconds? I mean, that's a hell of a lot of pressure. People get really stressed out about delivering why they do something, why it's important to buy from them or their service. And they get all hung up on this authenticity and trying to be enticing in less than 10 seconds. And so they make a lot of mistakes. They end up sounding inauthentic or salesy. And sometimes, honestly, people just give up. They don't do anything. They just write blah copy or do blah images or make blah brands. But when you really nail down the why behind what you do, it causes you to pinpoint how you're going to deliver the why of your business. Nailing down the why gives you a clear-cut path to what channels your ideal clients will end up being on. Ultimately, it gives you freedom to write confident blog posts. You make more confident products that you can put out into the world that you know are going to excite, entice new customers. You can confidently invest in your business without fear of losing the money. You can build better brand visuals or a better website. You can say, oh yeah, I'll put $10,000 into this, because you have that confidence nailed down. And how much is that confidence really honestly worth to you in your business? If it's gonna make you money back, how much is it worth to invest and say, hey, I'm super confident, I know this is gonna work for me. And when you put it that way, why would you ever give up on pinpointing your why? Knowing what makes you special and why you exist to do the work you were put on this earth to do, and being able to confidently express that to your ideal client is a proven way to push your business to incredible growth. And that's the core of the issue in a lot of businesses that don't make it, or don't see growth, or can't sell, or never reach their goals. They don't push hard enough. They end up giving up on their brand messaging, and they end up relying solely on visuals. And they never develop their visuals in a strategic way, even worse. So it leads up to them giving up on their website. They say, okay, yeah, this website, yeah, this is good enough. And it leads them to giving up on descriptor boxes on social media. They say, okay, yeah, no, it doesn't matter what I put here, whatever. No one's gonna read it anyways, right? It leads to people giving up on blog posts. They just write the same thing over and over and over again. And it even leads to people giving up on about pages. They're writing about themselves and not writing about why they're important to buy from, or their services are important to their ideal client. And that's a huge no-no. So I'm gonna ask you a really tough question. How many people here have focused on design of your brand or your website instead of drilling down the reasons behind why you do what you do and the value you're bringing to your clients? So how many of you have designed the look of your business first instead of designing the why or the architect why behind your brand visuals? So we have a saying in my office: when you learn organically, you grow organically. And quite honestly, I don't want to grow organically, and I don't want you guys to grow organically either. I want you to grow organically, and I want you to grow strategically. I want you to really get out there. I want you to own your brand, to own your website. I want you to own your whole business top to bottom. And I cannot stress enough how focusing on design first is ultimately not your fault. It's a super common mistake. So no one is actively teaching this topic because they believe, oh God, brand strategy, it's too complicated. Or they want to sell you on a program or a class or a bite-sized info here or there. And really, again, that's not your fault. That's why I want to spend some time and want to talk about it. Design is something that you can control. It's literally the easiest thing to focus on your business because it gives you instant gratification of being done. All right, wash your hands. It's something I did, right? No brainer. You pick a color, you pick a logo, boom, pretty. You got all the accomplishment high that you want, right? It's one more thing that you can mark off your to-do list for that day. But what you're really doing is you're accidentally wasting precious time and sometimes thousands of dollars if you don't work on the value and purpose behind the design of your business. It's just as good as randomly picking something in the dark. You don't want to leave anything to chance in your business. So why would you? If you leave something to chance in your business, you're literally leaving thousands of dollars in sales on the table. It's like, forget it, right? The results of your brand, how it reacts in an environment, what the purpose of it is, the why behind the scenes, that is more important than the visuals. And the visuals are only a small part of how you communicate your value anyways. And a good way to know if you need to work on your entire brand is to sit down and really be honest with yourself and ask, is my brand working for me? Can I go to sleep tonight knowing that my brand is going to entice a client and make a sale for me? Is my brand making me money? Is my brand working hard? Is it working off its marketing dollars for me? So if your brand is not doing any of those things, if it's not communicating, it's not functioning, you really need to fire your brand. And it's time to look at reworking it from the inside out, nailing down the why, and finding that why is going to end up revolutionizing your entire business. And if there's anything I want you guys to take away from this webinar, it's to have that spark of the idea that you have more control over your brand than you really have ever realized before. So let's talk about building that why, because I know I've mentioned it 100 times, like the why, right? And that's all about finding what makes you really incredibly important to your ideal client. So what is your value? So let's put this into context too. When your clients shop, they want to see themselves in your business, right? So they want to know you are the go-to person, or you are the go-to product on the market to solve whatever problem they're facing. They know that you're the person they want to work with, or they know your company is the company they want to work with, right? So in this hyper-competitive world, if an ideal client does not understand your purpose, they move on to your competitor. I mean, there are millions of people doing somewhat same things on this market with either products or services or whatever in some iteration or another. It's really important that your ideal client sees themselves in your why. So by stepping back, you got to ask yourself, okay, what problems does my business, what problems do I actually solve here? So if you're able to step back and say, okay, what problem am I solving with my business, my product, my service? You're halfway there down the path of building a value proposition. Easy, right? So you have to understand, this is the magic piece of this business building that really sells you to your ideal clients. It's about pinpointing what it is exactly you do for them that they literally cannot get anywhere else, or at the very, very least, what you are the best at compared to your competitors, hands down. So after that, the next thing to ask yourself is, all right, is what I'm thinking the problem I'm solving for these clients? Is this attractive to my ideal client? Does this make sense to them? Am I communicating that in the right way? Because honestly, it's not enough to just come up with something you think makes you valuable, right? It matters how your clients perceive you. It matters that the value you bring to the market is something that they want and that they understand. It matters that their experience is valuable. It's not enough to have a great idea. You can't just be like, all right, I have a great idea. People are going to be really excited about it. Done, right? So have you ever heard this quote, your brand is not what you think it is, it's what your customer says it is? It's kind of like the crux of it, right? And it's a lot of people are saying, oh, your brand is not your logo, right? It's the same idea. You and your business, they need to, both of you need to stand out. You need to be a formidable presence in your market. And by doing the value proposition work ahead of time, you're going to be pinpointing what exactly you're good at. You're going to be carving it down into something irresistible for your clients. And then you're uncovering the core of your brand value right there. If your customers can't find themselves in your marketing, your brand, or your website, and they don't see why your products are worth buying, and that is literally the kiss of death to your business. If your ideal client cannot see themselves, they will not see your value. So if you're not showing them that you're actively solving an issue that they have, or you're bringing a solution to something that's bothering them, or you're giving them service that they truly need, they're not going to buy what you're selling. And that is brand strategy. Ineffective brand strategy causes a slew of problems, including, like, obviously no conversions. Ideal clients, they're not going to pay for your service or your product or buy into whatever your brand is selling. And I want to just make a distinction right here. I'm not talking about cash value. I'm not just talking about thinking about, oh yeah, if I discount myself enough, if I'm cheap enough, if I toss in like every service in the kitchen sink, then yeah, I can build my value here. My clients want super cheap stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about why you're important. If you don't fulfill a need, you've got a problem. If they don't see your value, if your customers don't see your value, they're going to spend their entire time comparing you on a cash value system. So they're going to say, oh, well, this product is cheaper, or this, your competitor is cheaper. Can you give it to me, or give this product to me at a discount? And that's not what you want. So honestly, don't let them do that. You have complete control over your value. You have to take back that control. And that work is done before you even start marketing. So you have to know and you have to understand why you're truly valuable. And you need to know who you are, and you need to be able to express it concisely and effectively. It has to entice ideal clients. It has to make sense to them. So you need to focus on having a brand system that actually works for you. It has to be organized, has to be well thought out, has to be flexible to allow you to grow, and it has to connect to ideal clients. So we all thrive on examples. I'm really big on trying to wrap my head around something, and I love doing it in a tangible piece. So we're going to use your website as the perfect place to focus this idea, this discussion of your value and how you can make that into an extension of your marketing. So your website is a living, breathing part of your business. It's an interactive piece. It should be working really hard for you. It should be, tossing leads, selling for you, right? It's a huge function of your business. It's also an awesome, tangible place to talk about what we were just talking about, building your value. So if you're seeing that you're having issues on your website, you're going to have issues on your brand overall. So just pay attention to that. So if you have problems here, let's talk about what we can do to pinpoint those problems on the website. Maybe you can start backtracking through the rest of your business. So here's how you can make sure all of your marketing dollars are working for you, starting with your website. So let's talk about front page messages. All right, basics. Are you telling people what you do and why you do it? So a lot of times people skip this part on their website. You land on a website, it has no information on it. Very little value proposition information. I have no idea what this product or service or company does. It's either a motion picture or maybe just a logo or just a portfolio piece, and that's fine. But that's not being very strategic. It's not very controlling of your brand message, right? So if you do have a message, here's an interesting thing. Let's break that message down into what that message really is. Are you creating an experience? Is your customer, are they landing on this page? Are there a ton of images? And they're like, all right, that's pretty. Are you trying to build an experience with an ideal client in mind? So are they just on your website on their own? Do they not have any context of what they're looking at? Are you just saying, oh, I'm a web developer, so I'm going to put web development here? That's not really creating an experience. It's not driving your customer to look at anything, right? So let me put this in a different way too. If you were shopping for someone like you, so say you wanted to buy a Mercedes, right? Does the message on your website make sense if you were trying to buy the product that you are selling? Does it make sense to you right now? How are you letting people know the value of your business if you have, I don't know, 4 to 5 seconds to capture their interest, right? Especially for business owners in hyper-competitive markets. I mean, there are literally so many service providers or similar products. How are you ensuring that you are converting clicks into clients? You have to nail that front page message with your branded value proposition. So if you're looking at your website and you're saying to yourself, like, I don't have a message when they land on this, this is the first experience. I'm not telling them why I'm different than anybody else. That's a problem. And if you're thinking to yourself, okay, if I was shopping for what I did, you know, are there any good examples out there that show like, all right, someone's doing this really well? How are they doing their value proposition? So you have to really define this into a tangible piece and start backtracking and focusing your energy on it. And so let's break it down even more. If you're thinking about your website right now and you're feeling like you really need to make a ton of changes, you're freaking out about it, you're like, oh my God, these people are landing on my website and I don't even want to buy what I have. This isn't enticing. I wanna encourage you guys to pause, stop. So whatever's on your front page right now, whatever your first interaction is with your clients, whatever they see first, do you know how well that's performing? Another really important part of this is just understanding what's going on and getting a baseline of what you're doing now and examining where you're driving all of your traffic, where you're driving all of your marketing, where are you driving all your social media. If you're putting out all of this hard work, where are they landing? And do you have a plan of where they're going next? Do they have a clear path to follow to help them find themselves in your marketing? So if someone lands on your website and you don't have a baseline of how to make your website better, how do you know what to do, right? And if you're sitting here going, all right, what experience do I really want to create? You first have to mark down what you're doing right now and then think ahead to create that next step for that client, to create an experience for them. So if you're spending all your time driving all this traffic someplace, you definitely want to start making a plan of how this user is going to go through your website. And that's super overlooked. The other part here is emoting value in every touch point of your website. So say you've done the work of creating a front page message, right? You've gotten your foundation down, you know how everything is working, you've thought about how people are going to be navigating through your site. So once you find the perfect why that directs the focus of the client and shows how valuable you are to them, you have to be consistent with that value point on every place on your website. Because honestly, people have free will. You have to know that everyone is an individual. They have reasons as to why they're there on your site to begin with. You can't possibly pinpoint every reason. And some people are going to be looking for pricing. Some are going to be looking for an FAQ on your product. Honestly, whatever it is that they're doing there, you have to make sure that you are emoting consistent value in key areas along their experience with you. So other questions to ask yourself are you being clear? Are you maximizing on your purpose? Is what you're doing working towards showing your value? Are you staying focused? Or are you letting the fear or lack of confidence control every move? Are you taking the time to be consistent in your brand? Is your message consistent? Is your visual consistent? Is your marketing consistent throughout your entire site? And let's talk now about being focused. Focused, really, really important. So being focused is two parts for me. It's about explaining yourself clearly, right? And it's also about not being afraid to not be everything to someone, right? So have you ever heard this other quote? It's if everything is important, then nothing is important. So a lot of times I see people panic on their website and they design like a ton of pieces all over their site. It's not structured, it's not focused. There's a lot of things going on. You have like 10 reasons why you're valuable, or maybe 100 reasons why you're the greatest that you do whatever you do. So when someone lands on that first experience or first iteration, they have no idea what's going on. The message is either too big, or things are designed too brightly, or there's too many things calling attention all over the place. There's too much going on. They have no idea what to do. Too many design elements, too many messages, and it's stressful. That's a stressful experience. How are they going to know where to go next? So that makes you look really disorganized, and ultimately it makes you look really untrustworthy. So that kind of thing ends up killing marketing efforts. It kills your sales. And that sucks, because if you're doing all this hard work, you're thinking about your value proposition, you created a message, you got your baseline focus down, you're like, all right, this works. Now I want to create an experience. And then you kill it on their doorstep of when they come to you, and it's like, they're like, I don't know where I'm going. This is too crazy. That's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. So stay consistent, stay clear, give them one reason on each page to experience whatever you want them to experience. If you're a multifaceted benefit, if you've got 100 benefits to why you are amazing, or if you've got multiple audiences, there's nothing saying you can't create more pages and drive traffic specifically to those pages. Just be consistent and be really, really clear. So nailing down the consistency of your brand and your messages and how you're going to be delivering them, I mean, that's the golden ticket to helping you earn all of your marketing dollars back. And one really small and simple thing that I see a lot of people skipping by accident is having a clear call to action. So yeah, I mean, if you have spent a lot of time creating communication with these people, value proposition, you funneling everybody in, you have a good focus, your page has one strategic experience, don't skip a place for them to click. Don't skip giving them a direction to do what's next. If your end goal is getting people to contact you, or you want them to sign up for a newsletter, whatever it is, think through that action logically and build a call to action to call that out. If you want them to do something, tell them to do something, and don't be afraid to tell them to do it. So ask yourself, am I creating direction, and am I creating a funnel for these clients? Am I selling them on how amazing I am? Am I building a clear focus? Am I being consistent with my message? Do I have my value proposition in line? And if you do, give them a place to click, and I guarantee you they will click and they'll end up converting. All right, so I want to do something for you guys that I've never done for anybody else before. This is the first time I'm doing it. I'm super excited, actually. I want to do something called a clarity call. It's more about me connecting with you guys. I want to hear what you're dealing with. I want to understand what issues you're having. So this clarity call, it's 30 minutes, one-on-one. I want to sit with you. I want to hear what your issues are with your website, what you're experiencing right now. I want to help follow through those roadblocks and pinpoint what's really bothering you. And I want to clarify what needs work in your brand system right now. And on this clarity call, we're going to share screens, we're going to get on Skype, we're going to have coffee, and I want to talk to you about what's really bothering you. So honestly, it's going to be a crash course in figuring out where your brand problems are, making sure that we surpass them and get over that hump. So some of you that are going to be on this clarity call, you're going to DIY it afterwards. You're going to have the time. You're going to have the patience. That's fine. But a good chunk of you, you're going to want to work with my company, and that's even better. That's super cool. So honestly, I don't want to work with everybody. I know I can't work with everybody. So this is a great way for us to connect and see if we're a good fit. I have limited seats to this clarity call too in the next couple of days. So yeah, let's talk about who this clarity call is not for. So this clarity call is not for companies who want to slap a Band-Aid on something. You just want somebody to do everything for you. You just want to show up. You don't really want to take ownership of your brand. This call is definitely not for you. This call is also not for MLM programs. So no nail programs, no seaweed wraps, no skinny workout programs. Those people are already covered. You don't need me. That's perfect. So if you have a low quality product, not for me, not for this company, you're not going to need my help anyways. And if you're not passionate about what you do, then this call is not going to be for you. I can't help you. So this call is for a passionate person that is focused. They really want to take the next step. They want to get into the big ideas of what the driving force is behind their brand. They want to up-level their business. They want to talk to people that bring value to the world around them. They want to also get on a strategic path to make sure that what they're doing is bringing back all of their marketing money. So this is for someone that's ready to just bring it, honestly. Coaches, entrepreneurs, tech startups, photographers, designers, clothing companies, product-based companies. I mean, anyone with a strong desire to see their business grow and flourish and be focused, I want you on this clarity call. I want to talk to you. And you're going to be talking to me. I'm Elle. I'm the owner of Post Film Design Co. I am responsible for clarifying focus and purpose and messaging and visual brands of over 60 companies, all of varying sizes. I've worked to help people, everyone from small business solo entrepreneurs sitting at their kitchen tables, dreaming of being a big company, all the way up to multi-million-dollar a year revenue, small businesses, 15 employees, all that good stuff. Myself and my team, we've helped hone, we've developed, we've perfected brands and how those brands communicate with one-on-one custom solutions. I mean, we drive results, we help reduce fear, we help reduce frustration, and we help build empires. So every person I work with, they end up walking away with clarity and focus. They're ready to market themselves to their ideal clients. They're primed for marketing campaigns. They're really excited to get to connect with all the people that matter to their business. I help people find the why behind what they do, and I arm them with purpose and value, and I get them ready to communicate who they are to their perfect ideal clients. We also develop beautiful visuals that end up making sense in the system of a brand and help people stand apart from their competition. We additionally help create websites that have impact and entice ideal clients, that drive traffic, that work with marketing funnels, and we look at connectivity in that space as well. So here's some stats of what I do. 86% of my past clients have said that we've been able to help them find, entice, and connect with their ideal clients, which is awesome. 92% of my past clients have also said I've made their marketing way easier, which is a big win for me. And some client quotes. Susie Lindquist, we just finished working with her, and we just launched her brand recently. This quote is amazing. I love it. She says, I've gotten 7 solid wedding inquiries in 1 week since launching, and 2 of them are exactly in the price point I am wanting to book. That is unheard of, and I am blown away. This is only the beginning, and thank you so much. So that's awesome, and you can see all the things we worked on for her. And Sarah V, I am Sarah V. Another really awesome quote that I'm super proud of. You are a big part of my business. Without you, I would be lost. I am so happy my personality is to learn and really be okay with changes and to look ahead. But honestly, you help me see me in a way I never could have. That is something I can't measure and something I don't think many other people could provide to me. And your knowledge is insane, and I love it. And that also means a lot to me. So here is the link to go and grab a spot with me. Again, my spots, they're honed down to this week. They're very, very limited. I only want to speak with the people that I know I can help. So go to calendly.com/postfilmdesignco/30-minute Skype. I'm really looking forward to meeting up with all you, connecting. I want to learn about you. I want to know what problems you're facing. I want to talk one-on-one. If you guys have questions, feel free to tweet at us at postfilmdesign on Twitter. We're going to be hanging out for a little bit afterwards, and hopefully we'll catch you on the internet. Thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to speak to you soon. Have a great night.